Hey guys, it's Tony here. I come on here just for a few minutes to talk about some spoiler-free talk on Spider-Man Brand New Day. Just got back from seeing it on the opening night, Thursday. It's crazy to look at the weekend schedule and all the showings they had, and every single one of them was filled up for the most part. Definitely worth the hype. It was a great movie to see. A lot of great action when it comes to your typical Spider-Man movie. Going back to the Raimi trilogy, it's definitely up there when it comes to storytelling, emotion, and just the overall story of Peter Parker being Spider-Man. There's nothing better than that when it comes to these movies. The knock on the original trilogy of Tom Holland's movies, I feel like it wasn't really about necessarily his journey. There was some of that in there, but it was more how his journey was affected by other people. If it was Iron Man looking over him, babying him in the first movie in Homecoming, if it's not him being taken advantage of and just being a young kid, not really knowing what to do with himself and Far From Home. And then No Way Home was, of course, about all two of the Spider-Mans coming back and the villains and getting that closure of their series. Some of them, like with Andrew Garfield, they didn't really get closure, which is pretty cool. But this movie was definitely focused more on Peter and just him living his new life with basically all alone. And I know I'm trying to speak of anything that's not already in trailers, but just the action sequences when it comes to him dealing with his new powers and stuff was just great. And it's a little bit of the inverse of, I guess, Spider-Man 2, where he tries to give up the Spider-Man persona to basically have a life that he thinks that he wants and give away his responsibility, which was a big thing, of course, in the first movie. And now this is the opposite, where Peter is throwing away everything that is Peter Parker to go all the way in Spider-Man just to basically forget about his problems. So I know a lot of people can attest to the fact that whenever things get difficult in life, you pour yourself into work or school or basically just what you think will take away those anxieties and you just run from the things that should be really important in your life. So he definitely has to figure that out. Action wise, obviously with the trailers, you see a lot with the Punisher, which I'm super glad that he was in the movie a lot more than I thought I would. When it comes to the trailers, you see him in a fight scene, and of course the scene from the first trailer where he's in the truck, and you think that maybe that's an extended cameo, but he has a really big part in the movie, and I was really happy to see that. When it comes to the Hulk, the big thing was Hulk finally is back to his big form and his big savage form, and now he's had a good fight. I did hear a lot online about how the fight was supposed to be the best action sequence. I've heard that from all of MCU, which is a little outrageous to me. There's a part in the movie, there's another fight scene in the movie that I think tops that by far, and it happens to include it's definitely my favorite Spider-Man Tom Holland moment when it comes to things that he's done in his movies. There's some parts in the original trilogy of the Spider-Man movies, Sam Raimi ones, when it comes to the train stopping scene, or really like the scene of Green Goblin when right before he died. And there's some parts in Andrew Garfield that are okay. The movie's definitely overhated and should be hyped up a little bit more. But this scene, you'll see when you get it. And also, I do want to say that I will be doing a spoiler video going over the movie piece by piece. I want to get it more structured. This is my first reaction and trying to keep from getting into too much stuff. And the big mystery of the movie, of course, the worst kept secret in, I'll say Marvel, but actually in all of Hollywood, was Sadie Sing's character. We all know what she's doing, and I'm not going to say yay or nay, but you all know what she's doing, what the character she's playing. Just her story is definitely, it's a little, I won't say cookie cutter, but it's a little bit what you would expect. Just have an idea what the trailers have shown. It's a little bit what you expect, but she did a really good job. I'm not a Stranger Things fan, so I haven't seen her in anything I don't think I've ever seen her in anything. So I didn't really have a baseline of how to judge her. But I think she did a good job. What they gave her, some of her big emotional beats, but I think they worked. But of course, the big star of this movie was Tom Holland, Spider-Man. There's something about the way he sees the character and stuff. It's really special, and he does a great job. Yeah, I think this movie might have brought him up to be my favorite Spider-Man because he does the part well. He knows the character, and the fact that he got plenty of time to sink into this character and also have the creative input when it comes to this movie. You can definitely tell he did a lot to push this movie. So great job for him. Great action, great emotion. There's definitely some moments that make you cry. There's some movies that make you holler, and there's a lot of ones that make you laugh. It's definitely a MCU type movie where there's jokes in there. There's a lot of things to alleviate the drama sometimes, and sometimes it does get in the way of it and poo-poos on some of the big moments that you're on, but It definitely was. This movie, I think, was one of the most balanced, I think, when it comes to that. So, anyway, so I'm gonna stop it there, and again, I will do a spoiler video. I'm gonna try to do a more structured, go by part, and give my thoughts and what I think will happen in the future. So, it's a lot of cool things. The reason why I've seen this movie so early is because there's already little fan footage clips of the post credit scene, which is honestly it's not the only surprise in the movie, but just scrolling through and scroll past it real quick. And they basically spoiled it already. I basically know how the end credit scene was going to be. And probably there's only one, so you have to stay around to the very end of the movie, which I hate. But that's just the way it is now. But anyway, so we'll get that probably. I'll probably wait until at least Saturday, maybe Sunday to post that. I'll post it to my YouTube channel, which I believe this is what this is going to go on. I don't think I'll be able to post this long of a video. I might post on Facebook anyway, just so everybody knows. But anyway, so I'm going to sign off there, and I hope you guys have a good night and see the movie if you can.